I'm Yodas, and I was watching my usual RuneScape video by Theoatrix the other day. In his video, he was describing a list of dead content in the game, which was a fine video nonetheless. But there was one thing that irked me. At the very end of his video, he squeezed the Sorceress's garden in the last minute of the video, claiming that the garden is dead content, claiming there were better ways to train thieving. However, you can probably tell where this is going based on the title. I'm here to defend the Sorceress and her garden. She is my queen. The Sorceress garden is not dead content, and is one of the better ways to train your thieving, starting from level 65 until your late 80s. So why am I saying the garden is the best way to train starting at 65? Well, to find out, we have to look at the other options you have for thieving at this level. Either you can blackjack, or you can thieve Knights of Ardougne. The Knights of Ardougne method is much more meta though, due to it being less intensive and similar experience, so we'll look at this one in particular. The meta method with the Knights is to lure them into South Bank or the house near the market, and then you spam click them to pickpocket them. There are a few things that can help you pickpocket them efficiently though. The Dodgy Necklace gives 25% chance of not being stunned when you get caught pickpocketing. The Gloves of Silence reduces your failure to pickpocket by 5%, while the Medium Diary reward gives a similar benefit but at 10%. It is important to note that these two things do not stack, and you will use the greater one that you have available. With all these factors, the thieving experience per hour can greatly differ based on numerous factors. Here's a graph depicting the theoretical experience rates from the different factors from the OSRS wiki. I spent a little amount of time at the Knights and got slightly below the theoretical rate, but this can be accounted to me misclicking and being inefficient. I got 85,000 XP per hour at level 70. But if you do it better than me, you can nearly achieve 105,000 XP per hour. This is a fine and dandy method, but I breezed over a little fat. You have to click like a billion times. After 20 minutes of this, my hand already started to hurt, and to level up, it would take hundreds of hours. I'm not even joking. I would hurt myself if I kept clicking on my mouse at what I was doing to get the best XP as possible. The training method for me is completely unsustainable for myself. I searched for a better method, and I learned about the Sorceress's garden. I'd say a good amount of the RuneScape population knows what the garden is, however not many people go there anymore, so I'll give you a quick rundown if you don't know. The Sorceress's garden is a thieving and technically a farming minigame located in Outer Lid. The player is tasked with going through a garden of any of the 4 seasons that require different levels of thieving to gather Squirk fruit for Osmond, a Squirk juice fanatic. It's not that simple though, as there are elemental guards protecting the Squirk trees from thieves, so you must sneak past them in order to quench the thirst of Osmond. As a reward, you are given a healthy amount of thieving XP and a very minimal amount of farming and cooking XP, which is unimportant, so I won't mention it again. However, there is a little quirk with the Summer's Garden in particular. If you set up the elementals in a particular way and click at the precise time, you can run through the entire maze with a single click and you won't be caught. This means you can get a massive amount of XP with a single click every 30 seconds. In fact, I did the minigame for an inventory of Squirk juice, which was nearly 40 minutes, and I got 101,000 experience per hour. When I was doing this, I messed up multiple times, and I had to realign the guards every time, wasting tons of time. If you would not mess up at all, which is not that difficult not to do, you can get nearly 140,000 thieving experience per hour. As you unlock the Summer Garden at level 65, you can only start this method at 65, but afterwards the XP rate is constant and does not change with your level. As you can see, this method is actually pretty solid, but let's have it side by side with the Knights of Ardougne. In this chart, you can see how much better the garden is. So it's painfully obvious you should train at the garden at level 70 thieving, as you get more experience no matter what, and it's significantly less intensive. At level 80 though, the theoretical experience of the Knights of Ardougne goes to 150,000, which is more than the Sorceress Garden, so it is a fact that you should train 100% from 65 to 80 at the Sorceress's Garden. But afterwards, it gets a little more complicated. From this point on, it's just a matter of opinion. But I plan on training at the Summer Garden until about level 90 thieving. I value my hand and my happiness a lot more than any possible experience. In my opinion, cooking a couple times every minute is much more accessible than non-stop cooking on the night. I don't think this is a very hot take, but consider running the garden instead of the Knights of Ardougne. Go get that sweet, sweet Squirk juice, gamers. See you next time. If you guys like this video, make sure to subscribe, maybe like, put a comment down there if you want to talk to me. I'll respond to all of them. Alright, have a good one, guys. See ya.